Guys, we haven't heard this music in a long time.
Oof.
I'm a little hungover, but we're back for the show. Hope you guys are doing good, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys, I'm not used to this music. We've been doing segments. We've been here. We've been there. It's very good to be back with you guys on a full podcast. It's the All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and my fucking man, Manny Ruffin.
You already know what's cracking in this corner. Got another banger for the boys.
Another banger for the boys.
Slight.
If you guys are not already a current YouTube subscriber, hit that subscribe button down below. Like the video if you are liking what you're seeing, and comment down below if you agree with what our guest is saying. If you like what our guest is saying today, that is right. We do have a guest. It's Joke. He's in the waiting room. You guys are going to hear a little bit more about him, his story, how he turned from a professional Madden player. That's right, a professional Madden player to now turned sports gambler with over 21,000 people in his Discord. Manny, let's get this guy in here.
Oh my God. Well, you already kind of killed the intro, but we're talking to one of the best Madden players of all time. They talk about some top 10, top 5. He's easily top 5. Come off a Madden Bowl championship just to solidify his career. Now he's running Discord. You said 21,000
people are in here.
Without further ado, you guys already know it's cracking. Let's welcome in Joke, baby. Let's go.
Joke. We got some connecting to audio. He can't hear us yet. Where's he at? Where is he at?
Here?
Okay. He's in the video. Great to see you, dude. Yo, seriously, we really do appreciate your time today. It means a lot to us, and we heard that you mentioned in your DM that Cap said some good words about us, that you wanted to come on here. So we do appreciate that, and shout out to El Capitan. That was like our first big interview. So appreciate you for giving us the good words and giving us the tip to get you on here. But we're glad to have you here talking about your story in Madden and how you are turned. We have some questions for you, but turned professional handicapper with all these guys in the Discord. We want to hear all of it. We have a lot of questions for you. So let's just get things started. We want to start with Madden. So can you just tell us how you got into Madden, and even taking it serious enough to play it professionally, to obviously end up winning that title?
So I started playing Madden maybe 2008, and I just started playing just online stuff. And then I played this one dude who was really good, and he was doing these bunch of crazy glitch plays. And I asked him yo, how the hell were you doing that? And he sent me a message of how to do every single play. So that was my first moment into getting into competitive Madden. And then I just started playing every day. I was I don't know, maybe in 7th or 8th grade. I would literally just play basketball after school, basketball practice, and then I would just go home and play Madden all night. So I would wake up. I would go to sleep at 2 in the morning, wake up at 6 to go to school,
and then just playing Madden all night. And that was was COD for you, when all the kids were on COD, when we were on COD, something
exactly.
that. You were just grinding Madden.
Yeah, I was,
but why Madden though?
Playing. Well, the thing is, I just started getting really good at Madden. So I was 14, but I was already playing for money. So I was making money. So I was maybe making $100-$200 a week. And when you're 14, that feels
yeah, that's the money you're making right now.
Walking to school in the Monday morning. Walking to school Monday morning, fresh out the Madden tournament dub. I don't give a fuck about this homework, y'all. Fuck off.
That's really how I felt. I was buying as many cookies I want in school, going out to eat if I wanted to. So I was already really good at the game, and I'm not a football fan at all. I hate watching football.
Really?
That is the
I'm more a basketball guy. Yeah, everyone's always amazed at that because I played Madden for 5 years.
Because listen, I was trying to explain to Alex, I was dude, these dudes that play competitive Madden have to know football at least the level of a D1 football player or coach, because all I'll have you talk about it a little bit more, but dude, all the coverages, adjustments, audibles, tendencies, all that shit goes into it. And then one thing I want you to speak on is, not a lot of people know about this, but I remember I was playing Madden back in the day, and I was playing MUT. I was nowhere near as good as you, but you just watch Twitch and watch the competitive guys. They talk about labbing. They're labbing for 3 hours, 4 hours at a time.
Yeah, I don't know
can you talk about that process of what it is, getting your playbooks down, labbing with people for 3-4 hours at a time? What's the real tedious process of becoming a professional Madden player?
So basically I was a really good defensive player. So what I would do is there's always a meta, right? So it's the main formation that everyone's going to use. Not everyone, but most of the top players, which was always usually the same formation. It's a formation called shotgun bunch. So what I would do defensively is I would try to find a way to stop that play. So anytime you ran that play, if I thought you were running that play, I had to have the exact adjustments to stop that play. And then what I would do is I would try to lab with my friends to find the best adjustments for that play, but then also find other adjustments for the other plays that people run.
Mm-hmm.
So that was on the the defensive side, and then on the offensive side, you got to try to figure out what you want to play, like how you want to play offense. I kind of like to run the ball, but most people like to just pass the ball every play. So like on offense, I kind of took a different approach where like I didn't want to play like everyone else. So on offense, I would always play like different. So offense, I would have to honestly like lab against the computer, and then defense, you would lab against your friends. But Madden is like a game where you got to play like if you're not playing like 5-6 hours a day, like you're not gonna be better than the other people who are because you just got to play because like honestly, like the best thing you can do in Madden is just play random people because then you kind of learn how to just adjust on the fly. Just in case you play somebody who like doesn't play the conventional way, those are the hardest guys to beat because that's not what people are used to. So I would just like honestly, my labbing would just be like playing random people and just see what a random person would do instead of like what a top Madden player is going to do.
Can you talk about a little, just touch on having Tressway following you on Twitter, and also also the fact that you didn't throw a pass in that tournament of like I know that was like the meta at that time, and you know we were reading up on stuff of Jaybird that's obviously in the Discord now, which we're gonna get into, of how like he was kind of like showing you that meta. But how did you really think like, yeah, bro, like I'm gonna run this tournament up and I'm gonna use a punter as my quarterback and I'm gonna sub him in and out because I get the handoffs on the right and left side, yada yada yada.
Yeah,
how the hell is that gonna?
The funniest thing I thought about that too was your name when you went to the tournament. What was it? You pass, I run, you lose, or something like that. I thought that was the greatest show of all time.
You pass, I
so like,
win.
How did you even think like, yeah, I'm gonna go like, you know, win the whole thing. I'm gonna hoist the belt. I'm gonna get the, you know, the winnings for winning the whole thing. How did you think like, yeah, I'm gonna do this all without throwing a single pass?
All right, so first I was like, at that point, like late in the year, there's these thing called golden tickets that come out, and like those cards are like soup, right? So it'll be like, if you get a golden ticket, you can make any player you want, but like that dude's gonna be a 99 overall, and he's more than likely gonna be like the best player in the game at that position. So at that point, there was like a golden ticket RG3, there was a golden ticket Vic, and they have like all the best abilities. So at first, I was trying to like have a balanced offense where like I was gonna run the ball more than I needed to, but if I had to pass, like I had a quarterback, and I remember playing Jaybird, and he was like, "Yo, you should just run the ball every down." I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that shit's gonna be good. And then I played him, and he scored on me like 3 straight drives. I'm like, hold up, like he's playing better offense than me, and I got players on offense. He's got nobody, and he's playing better than me. So I said, all right, fuck it, I'll try it. So I hit up one of my boys who would help me make the teams, and I'm like, yo, let's make a team. Like I'm only gonna run the ball. And like my two, like the two people who helped me lab the most for that tournament or like, yo, there's no way you can win like this. I'm like, bro, just help me make the team. So whatever, we make the team. And at that point I was playing, the guy actually played in the finals a ton. And this other kid named Jawa, I think I beat them like 10 straight times. And I mean, I was like,
just by running the ball
every drive. Yeah, I was stopping them every drive and I was scoring like almost every drive. So I'm like, hold up, like this might be the way. So that was like one day where I beat them like 10 straight times. The next day I wake up, both of them were like, yo, let's play. So I'm thinking like, oh, if these guys want to play this bad, that means I have to have something here. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep playing them because I wanted them to be able to like make adjustments to try to stop the runs that I was running to see if I could adjust against their adjustment. And I think like I did it for like 3 or 4 straight days and like, I was probably like combined like 20-1 against them. And these are two guys that are in the final, like in the Madden, like these guys are in the final tournament. And I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, like this has to be the best way. Like I was scoring more without a quarterback than with one. And then the only thing I did different was people don't even realize I like when I was on the left hash mark, I used the righty quarterback. When I was on the right hash mark, I used the lefty quarterback.
Genius.
Because the handoff was different. So when I was on the right hash, my quarterback would hand off the ball going to his left. So like I ran to the left side of the field, there was more room. So I found a way to like, Madden's like a big game. Like you kind of have to like use the hash marks. So I was using that to run the ball. because every time I ran the ball to a direction, I was running it to the long side of the field. And to be honest, like the day of the tournament started, there was this one guy I played that was running a different defense. And one of my boys like told me like the best run for that. And that was the run that like I scored 2 touchdowns in the final. So like that wasn't like Madden's a big thing. Like a lot of people can like randomly help you win a tournament. Like I probably don't win that tournament if one of my friends, his name's Stevie J, doesn't tell me how to run that ball like against that defense.
So you ended up winning the Madden Bowl tournament. In the final, you played somebody that you labbed against for hours. And then I believe Derwin James raised the belt for you.
Because it was online,
so
right?
There's 2 things here. Like, what was it like going to the final and you've had a illustrious Madden career and the only thing you didn't have was that belt. And now you're playing against someone that you labbed hours against. What was that mental game like? Were you more confident or were you a little like shaky, like maybe had something up his sleeve? Like, what was that like at first?
Nah, once I saw, so his name's T. Croft. Once I saw he made the finals, I literally like texted all my friends and I said like, bet everything. He has no chance to win. Yeah, I literally like texted my friends and I was like, bet everything. He has no chance to win. I had played him like that again. That was like one of the guys I was playing the most, and I think in like the last 3 games that I played him, I think I averaged like 10 to 11 sacks a game.
Oh my god!
And like he didn't score on me for 3 straight games. Like that was probably the most confident I've ever been.
And
like,
that was your Frank Clark, right? That was your Frank Clark that was getting him.
No, it was he was actually in another group, but I played him a lot going into the tournament. It was this kid named B. Croft.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember texting my friends like, yo, bet everything. And like one of my boys bet like a few thousand. Because a lot of people were like, oh, that he was gonna stop the run, but I knew he had no chance.
Did he know that he was gonna like that you were gonna run the ball the whole time? Just because like playing the same guys, like him. Tendencies, like so like maybe his tendencies and you know what I mean.
Nah, I couldn't pass the ball. Like I had an Eli Manning on my team, but in mud like I had a 68 overall Eli Manning. Like there was no chance I could pass the ball.
So you just
like at all. Like
that's just unbelievable. So I know like it was an online tournament. This is kind of like one of the last things we'll say on Madden here, but I know it was an online tournament, but you did get to see Derwin James hold up that belt. And I feel like at least the stuff that we read is like the players care more about the belt than essentially like the money that you win. Is that true for you? Or and also if that is true or not, how was it to see like a professional, NFL player that is on the screen, congratulating you on your win?
The belt definitely matters more. It's weird though, because like the belt matters more until you win it. Now, like if you ask me where my belt is, honestly, I think it's in my mom's house. I don't even know where it is.
Right.
So like it's cool to win it, and it does mean more because it's like you finally won one. Plus, like I think at that point I was like first in like live event appearances, first in wins, like, and I hadn't won one. So to me, like it definitely like I was thinking more about winning the belt than winning 65 grand. So yeah, like everybody does think like. Plus, like if you market yourself well, like you make more money if you win a tournament, because I got like over 100K in sponsors after winning that tournament.
Wow.
Okay.
And out of that tournament, I probably don't get those sponsors. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've always told people in the Madden community is like winning doesn't only make you money, but it makes you more money in the long term if you market yourself well, if you do the right things. So yeah, I made like well over 100K after like
just after winning
that tournament.
That's crazy. That's great.
So yeah, the belt definitely matters though. Like that was like the big thing that I wanted to do. And honestly, like after I won that, I think I kind of like just like was like, oh, that's it. Like I've kind of done everything in Madden, and that's kind of what like started leading to like me not wanting to play anymore.
That's what's gonna be my next question. So how long? Because I was doing some creeping, doing some scrolling on YouTube. I watched A Day in the Life with XX Joke. And you had your little day, went to the gym, and I seen you were doing DFS. Like you said, like I get back from the gym, I do our DFS. So how long was that transition from you playing Madden to you getting to DFS? And what was kind of like your mental framework at that time? Did you feel like you just climbed the mountaintop? Was this kind of more enjoyable for you? Like what was kind of the mental framework of that decision? Because
to be honest, I did DFS last year.
Okay.
And I think I was like maybe a marginal winner. Like I was probably break even at best. But I was just like, it was just kind of something to do. So it was fun. Plus, like, I love basketball. Like I could literally watch every game of basketball without betting anything like that. It's just watching basketball to me is fun. So it just gave me a way to like kind of sweat it. But like that shit was expensive because I was wasting like it was like $500 a night in tournaments. And it was a lot harder than props because it's kind of like doing props, but instead of picking one player to do good, you got to pick 9. And if 8 of your players play good and one doesn't, like that could be the reason why you don't win. So it was a lot harder than props. So I honestly did that just for fun. And the real reason why I started like giving out plays this year is because Madden ended so early. Like Madden normally ends like late May. And this season it ended like, I think the month after January. Like this season was super short. So like I had nothing to do. And I remember like texting Cap, I'm like, yo, what do you use to research? And he told me all the same websites that I used to use to research DFS. And I told one of my boys, I'm like, I think player props is like kind of the same research as DFS, but it's going to be easier because we can narrow it down to like 1 to 4 players instead of having to pick 9 and be within a budget. So I started giving out plays, and I think I started with like a little Twitter group. I had 70 people in my Twitter group, and I was only giving out live plays. And then after I texted Cap that, I started doing like research. And then a few months later, and now I don't know how, but the Discord has like fucking 20,000.
An insane amount of people.
All deserved.
Yeah, and the thing too, it's crazy because like I never thought I would like ever give out plays. Like if Madden doesn't end early, like I wouldn't even have had the time to do it because like doing like giving out plays, it's like a whole day thing. Like you got to know every single injury report. You got to know everybody's minute projections. You got to know like the trends. Like it's like a whole day thing. I feel like people think it's a lot easier than it is. So like that shit takes like a few hours a day, and that's just like I wouldn't have done that if I had to play Madden because I would have been.
Would you have like if you weren't handicapping? This is not the question I wanted to ask right now, but if you weren't handicapping right now, like would you still like if this was not a thing, would you still be playing Madden?
So yeah, probably
professionally.
Like I honestly think like playing Madden's better than having a regular job.
100%.
I
think you're gonna get a lot of agreements on that
one. Yeah, I honestly like the last, like especially last year. Like I remember telling my girl all the time, like, "Yo, I don't want to play this game no more." So I was honestly gonna start getting into real estate because I just didn't want to play Madden anymore.
Right.
And then I started doing the handicapping stuff, and I'm like, wait, I could just do this. So that kind of gave me like another not like job, like another option I could do in life. Because I honestly like. I was hell bent, like I didn't want to play Madden anymore. Like my friends still don't think I'm not gonna play. Like there's no chance I play Madden next year. But like my friends still don't think that. But like I was literally gonna start taking real estate courses because I just didn't want to play the game anymore. So to be honest, I don't know. Like maybe, but maybe not because like I maybe would have started getting into real estate. If I did play Madden, I know for sure. Like I had 1 year left. Like this upcoming year would have been my last one. There was just no way I could play.
You just kind of like grew out of it.
Madden again.
You had some crazy ladder hits throughout the playoffs, and even like leading up to it. I've seen it over and over again. I'm like, because Kat will post like the little text message between y'all and be like, "Yeah, Joke had this way early." When did you realize with this gambling shit that you had it? You know what I mean? Because everyone thinks they can do it for real. You might have a nice little night. You hit a 3-point ladder.
Let me post that one.
Let me post it up, but you don't know if you got it yet. When did you knew that you had it?
So, I started to realize I could be really good when I was on a losing streak. So,
wow.
I was up like 50 units, and I went on vacation with my girl, and I was giving out plays like on my phone. Like I was doing research, but like I wasn't doing as much research as I normally do. So I lost like 30 units, and I'm like, okay, like at that point I was like thinking like, damn, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. But that kind of made me like try to like retool what I was doing. So I was only taking value plays. So I was like just taking like, let's just say like Desmond Bain 25 and 30. I was never taking his baseline just because I thought like that it was more profitable to take the value plays. So I started realizing I'm like, oh, like a lot of these plays I'm picking, like Desmond Bain would finish with 21. So like I'm losing 1 unit instead of being even. And I started going back, and there was like 20 plays where I picked a player who played good. He just didn't play great. So like I lost 20 units when I should have been breaking even. And then that's when I started to like do a full ladder. So I would take his baseline, the mid value, and the max value. And that's when I started doing like really well. So I think in like 2 weeks, I had like won back everything I had lost and then some. So I was like maybe at like plus 60 units. And that's when I started thinking like, oh yeah, like now I definitely will win more than I lose, because the days I lose, it's going to be like 2 or 3 units, because I was rarely picking a player who would just play terrible. Like at worst, he was hitting it straight. But I was losing a lot more because I wasn't realizing that. So once I realized that, I'm like, wait, I think I could actually like be really, really good at this.
So there was like, you might have already touched on this, but just from the DFS stuff. But aside from the DFS stuff, was there like can you just take us through like maybe there was like your first betting story? Maybe it was like one bet that you took that hit, that got you in it. Or maybe it was a friend that said like, yo, like you maybe your knowledge in football, you should take like Tyreek Hill for 2 touchdowns, and like you hit something like that, like plus 3,000 or whatever the fuck it was. And you're like, dude, like I'm into betting now. Was there one of those stories that you have? If you don't, that's fine. But like, I feel like some people like in your industry have like that one bet or like that one type of story that like got them into it.
Honestly, it was Will Barton. I remember Cap posted Will Barton 2025 for free on Twitter, and that was like that was during the bubble. And me and my boy, like we both bet like 100 on his 25, and like this was like obviously I didn't know what a unit was. Like it was my like just starting to like. One of my boys was like, yo, this dude named Captain is just like hitting every bet in the playoffs. And I'm like, fuck it, let's take what he has. So he posted Will Barton 2025, and he had like 24 for like a minute, and I was sweating the shit out of that. And then Barton like he gets fouled, misses the first free throw, makes the second one. I'm pretty sure it was like a crazy sweat, and he finished the game with 25. So that was like the first play that I tailed by Captain, and the first play hit. Then the next game, Luka 40 hits. The next game, Luka 40 hits. So I'm thinking like, all right, this dude is a god. Like this dude knows something we don't. So at that time, Cap wasn't only posting, like Cap already had a VIP, I think.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't posting all his plays for free on Twitter. So I had DM'd him like, I swear, like 5 times. Like, yo, bro, I need into the VIP. Like, how much do I got to send you? And I guess I sent him so many messages. He just like hit me back and was like, yo, since the season's almost over, just like here. And he just gave it to me for free. Like I had never talked to Cap ever in my life. But I guess like he felt like I had just messaged him so many times that he just gave me it. And
goat. I love you.
Yeah,
Cap.
like bro, Cap was literally like cool as hell since the first time I ever messaged him. Mm-hmm. And that was like my first moment getting into like the whole gambling scene. And then after that, like I was like, all right, like obviously this dude is the best. I'm just gonna tail every single play he makes. And that's what I was doing, honestly. And like then my personal like first big play was Tyrese Halliburton. I took his 2025 and his 4 and 5 threes, and they both cashed. So that was like my first big like play that I gave out. And I remember posting that on Twitter. And like at that point I wasn't giving out plays, but I got like 100 DMs that day. Like, yo, send me all your plays. I remember like sending everybody a message like, yo, just so you know, like I'm not good at this shit at all. Like I just started doing research. But like if you want, I'll give you the plays. But like just know I'm not fucking Captain or Geechee. Like I'm not like that at all. So and people still wanted like, nah, like send us your plays. We don't care. And that's kind of when I made the Discord, and I was like, all right, fuck it. Like people want the plays. Here you go.
It's funny, like Cap's story, before I say to my last question, like how you said like this, you know, he's real, like he's a god. Because we had interviewed Cap, and then it was NBA Finals. I forget what game it was. I want to say game 4. I want to say game 3, game 4. And we pull up to the casino. He comes there with us, and he has Devin Booker value props plays. And I mean, I think he hit almost every single one of his bets, and he might have lost 1 or 2. And like that's one of those moments you see, like, dude, this dude is real. This shit is insane.
We sat there and like sitting next to this dude, we watched him win like 20K.
That shit was ridiculous.
I'm like, bro, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. I'm sitting next to this dude, watching him win 20 bands. Like it's nothing.
And calm, just walking through the casino with us, just a regular. Like he's just a dude. Like
does
he's.
Anybody have a camera? Everybody in this place should be taking pictures of this dude, for Christ's sake. God.
But like, so kind of to circle back, because completely unconventional routes you took to where you are now. Was there any like friction in the household, maybe friction with your friends of how you decided to lead your life? Or was it kind of like, okay, this motherfucker's winning $200 a week at 14, like whatever you want to do, like go ahead, bro, you got it.
If you can pay the bills.
All right, so to be honest, like my mom was always like pretty supportive of it. Like my mom was kind of like, she like let me grow up like how I wanted to grow up. So like she would let me go to sleep late. Like she was like, you can go to sleep late, just make sure you wake up for school and don't
Sure
make
thing.
me wake you up.
Right.
So I knew like, okay, if I want to sleep late, I know I got to wake up. So like my school was at like 6:45. So I literally would live 5 minutes away. So I would wake up at 6:30, get dressed, walk to school. And as long as I didn't get to school late, my mom was like, go ahead. Like if you want to live your life on 3-4 hours of sleep, go ahead. So
Right.
she would always like let me. And then honestly, the way I got into Madden was I used to work, like I used to do loss prevention for a stocking and shipping company that had like high-end merchandise. So we had like Tom Ford, Gucci, Fendi, Prada, like we had a whole Kith thing. Like we had basically like all the designer stuff we had in that warehouse. And then like my job was to like just make sure people didn't steal. So I remember it was on a like I had told one of my boys like, oh, let's go to this bar. It was called Tally Ho because it had like this like happy hour on Thursday. It was like everything half off for a whole night. And like I'm pretty sure like that day I got drugged. I remember drinking like I drank like 2 shots. I drank a blue LIT and I don't remember leaving the place. I threw up in my friend's like brand new Audi at the time. Like I don't remember getting home. I don't remember going to sleep. And it was me and my boy and like a few of our like girlfriends. So I honestly to this day will say like I got drugged because like I literally woke up like 5 hours late for work. Literally felt like I got roofied. I swear, like
That's crazy.
and my supervisor had called me like a million times, and I woke up and I'm like, "Yo, my bad. Like my phone was dead." And he asked me like, "Are you drunk?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good." So I went to work because I was feeling fine. Once I got to work, I was feeling like I was literally like dying. Like I felt like I got roofied. I swear.
Did you tell him
And
that?
I told my supervisor, I'm like, "Yo, I feel terrible. I gotta go home." And I honestly, I was already kind of like fed up with that job because I was working from like 6:45 to 8:45, like every single day. Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, I was working doubles like every other day.
Oh my
So I was
God.
already kind of like tired of the job anyways because I was just working too much. And another thing too is I had been there. So it was like the building I was working in was a new building. And I was the first like loss prevention. It was like I guess a security guard, but I was like the first loss prevention guy we had. And we had like 4 or 5 other people that I was teaching every single day, and I wasn't getting paid more than them. So I was already telling my supervisor, like, bro, I need to get a raise because like I'm basically a supervisor and I'm getting paid the same as everyone. So whatever that day comes, I get fired.
Wow.
And literally a week before that, Madden had announced that like it was becoming an esport. So I remember calling my best friend who I went to the bar with. I'm like, yo, like I just got fired. He's like, what happened? I'm like, bro, I don't know. Like I got fucking roofied. Like I woke up like dying. Like I'm fucked up. So he was like, oh, what are you gonna do? And I remember telling him like, yeah, I'm gonna play Madden. It's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah, bro, like I have enough money like saved up from working that like I'll have enough money until Madden starts. I'm gonna play Madden. So I remember
That's crazy.
that shit actually ended up working out because the first tournament, like literally 5 days before the tournament, they announced if you finished top 4 in the leaderboards, you would skip like 4 rounds of single elimination.
Oh wow.
So like instead of starting at like 256, you start in the final 16. So then I'd only have to win 2 games to make the first live event. So I remember like I played Madden for literally like 16 to 20 hours for 3 straight days.
That's insane.
Like I'm not even in 3 days I played 90 games of Madden.
Jesus.
And like that just never
Christ.
got boring. Like that was never like
hell no, that shit was fun. I remember like I would go to sleep at 6 and put an alarm at 10, wake up, drink a big ass glass of coffee and just start playing again. And I did that for 3 straight days.
Shit.
And I made the first live event. And then after I made the first live event, I was already kind of known as like one of the biggest Madden players. I got sponsored by a team called Noble, who started giving me $500 a month. And this was like in 2017. So I was making guaranteed $2,000 a month. Plus I was playing money games every day, plus whatever money I won from Madden. So that year, like in total, I maybe made like 75K, like off the sponsorship, the money games I was playing, plus what I won at a tournament. So I was like, shit, I just won like double what I would have won working. and this shit was way more fun.
And you're enjoying it. Is everybody picking up on this?
And everybody, I'm about to say,
this is a mentality thing,
100%,
right?
100%.
I mean, we like this is not. Everyone can say, "Oh, you're playing a fucking video game." Like this is a mentality thing.
Not everybody's built for that, bro.
No, that's what I'm saying.
16 to 20 hours of Madden a day. No
Yeah,
one's built. Bro, I couldn't. I played like I'm like okay at video games. Like I can get pretty good at video games fast. Madden is by far was the most frustrating game to play because you could just feel like you do something so perfect and you get Madden like off someone's helmet, touchdown, block punt, all types of bullshit. Like, and you kind of I can see it in you like that demeanor right now. Like you don't get too high, you don't get too low.
Now we're like very.
Has it always been like that through your career of Madden, or did Madden kind of like beat the shit out of you into being like a mild mannered kind of player?
It's actually funny to that because so for like those 90 games that I played, by the way, like every single game I could not lose because the way top 4 was, if you had a really good win percentage, if you lost, I would lose like 3 or 4 times the amount of like, let's just say XP as somebody else.
Facts.
So I had like the craziest record. I had like a 95% win percentage. So when I lost, I would lose like 3 or 4 as much like X times the XP as everybody else. So like imagine playing 90 games of Madden where you're treating every single game like the finals of a tournament. So that was the 90 fucking games that I played. And honestly, like I used to get pissed. I'm like, I think my first 2 years of Madden, I had so many good opportunities to win like tournaments where like I just got mad at the game and I just started fucking playing bad because I was just getting annoyed at the game. So I remember like at the end of the second match saying like, damn, I got to get this shit figured out. Like, what can I do? So I started playing poker. Like fucking 12 tables, 8 hours a day. Because in poker, it's like this. I feel like there's no more variance than anything.
Was this
online
or
Yeah, online.
Okay.
I was like 10, 12 tabling online. Because like poker has a lot of variance. So I was like, oh, like if I can kind of deal with the poker swings, like I'll be all right when I get unlucky in Madden. So I guess like the whole offseason, like normally the offseason for Madden is like 2 to 3 months. I just played poker for those 2 to 3 months. And I kind of honestly just got used to variance. Like I got used to getting aces against kings and somebody hitting a king. I got used to fucking having a set versus a set and a dude hitting a 1-outer.
Right.
So like when I started getting unlucky in Madden, I was like, oh, whatever. Like I'm used
shit
to
happens.
It.
Right.
So that was honestly the way that I like got like the never too high, never too low. Cause like at first I used to like, I ground spiked the controller in one tournament because the dude just kept throwing me the ball and his receivers were just like fucking mossing me every down. So I was like, nah, I can't like.
Did you have a backup for that controller?
Oh no, it was at the end of the game. Like I had lost. I grounded. I remember telling this guy named Chow, I'm like, Chow, what the fuck is going on? Like mid game, I told a fucking guy who worked from like, what the fuck is going on in this game? Like this is fucking insane. And I was so like, I was like so like fucking hot headed that like I would have never done well at Madden if like I didn't change that. But I'm not like. I'm like the kind of person I'm like super real with myself, and I'm like, okay, like I have to fucking change that. Right. It was like when I went on that losing streak with gambling, I'm like, okay, I gotta.
That's
fix that.
exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, that's kind of like a full circle moment because now you can handle the highs and lows of gambling so much better than the regular person. Like, kind of like how many people you're about to give out picks? Like, I just lost 50 units. Like, you're considering like you looking at yourself differently. You're probably betting the board differently. Like, it takes that mental fortitude. Like, I'm just gonna keep going, keep chipping away at this.
That actually happened to me in the playoffs.
Wow.
So like the first like 2 rounds, I felt like if I took fucking Looney to hit 2 threes, he was fucking hitting them. Like I swear, like I got to like I think it was in the first round, I was up like 136 units. I think. I think that's my insane. All-time high was not. I think like I'm saying in general, I think my all-time high was 136, and I started at 98, so I was up 38 units in like the first round. And then I went from 136, I got down to like 83. I started losing like every single play. And I was honestly like going back at the plays and like I was like, damn, I feel like this is kind of like a poker downswing where you play well and you lose. But then there was also like some plays I was forcing. So then I hit the Jimmy Butler play. Like when he hit 35 and 3 threes. That like got me like all the way back almost. Like that won me like 30 units. So I got back to like 110. And then now, honestly, I think like when you're down, it's a weird thing being down in gambling, because I remember that game. If I wasn't down that game, I would have won 60 units. Because that day I liked Derek White's 3 threes. It was like 1280, and I liked Lowry's 4 threes. I remember telling my boy like, "Yo, I know I'm losing, but like, I just say fuck it and send it."
Yes.
And my boy was like, "Yo, if you send Lowry and he scores 0 points again, they're gonna kill you." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." Like, and I swear, like, I would have, if I was up during that time, like, I would have won the Jimmy Butler. I would have won Lowry, and I would have won Derek White. I would have won like 60 units on one day, but I just didn't send Lowry and Derek White, because when you go down in the downswing, like, you don't want to have like
Another
I don't know. I feel
one.
like
I mean, also because you
there's
got a
like
lot of people
safe
watching
plays.
you too.
Yeah. Plus, like, I don't know. I just felt like, damn, like, I my goal honestly for the season was like, I wanted to at least end the season at like 100. Because like,
that's really fucking good, by the way. People don't understand that. Like, people do not understand.
Yeah, if that's like
that is really
margin,
fucking good.
I feel like that's tough to say. Like, oh yeah, I want my goal to be 100. Like, that's still like a tough margin to meet, though, regardless.
Yeah, no, like, people don't realize how hard it is to give out plays that win more than they lose. Like,
bro,
if you think about how many people gamble and lose, like,
everyone.
The majority of them.
That's the stigma
people don't
around
understand.
it. You're gonna lose money.
If you hit at 55%, if you just take a straight bet spread, if you hit at 55%, you're probably one of the better gamblers.
You're a winner.
Oh, like, bro, people don't understand that at all. So to be up 100 units in the playoff, like, bro, stop it. Put some respect in the names.
I started like giving out plays January 27th. So like, I'm up like, I think right now, hold on, I'll tell you the exact number.
There we go. Look at this. Because I was gonna say, like, Discord started in January. So I'm at 119.81, and I'm at plus 21.81 in the playoffs. Yeah, so thank you, Jimmy Butler.
I'm plus 119. Yeah, Jimmy Butler. So honestly, I feel like my Discord is like, when I'm excited to start the Discord like at the start of the NBA season, because all right, so I'm at 119.81. One of my boys named JFar, that I actually met him through Madden too, and he's been capping since the same time as me. He's plus 143.
Oh my god!
So like, we're both like together, we're at like plus 250, and we're both like first time NBA cappers. And then I have another guy named Larry, who he's like at 180 for the season. So like, next season, I'm excited to see like all the like how we're gonna be able to finish, because we got 3 guys like who, in my opinion, will like more than likely end at like at least over 100. So I'm like kind of excited, because Cap always tells me like it's easier to like handicap for 4 months than it is for a whole season. Mm-hmm. And I guess it's because like, it's like, you're going, in the NBA season, you're gonna catch a downswing. Mm-hmm. Right. So I'm excited to see how I handle that. Yeah, because like it's tough too, because like in the regular season, there's a lot of games, so you can lose like a lot of units per day. Right. So I'm kind of excited to see how I'll do like at the start of a whole season.
I think right now you got the
I will say
I
started at a good time though, because I started around COVID, like the COVID time. So like, there was a lot of value, and like in what people thought was like terrible games, like there was a shit ton of value. And like, there's a team with 7 players, like somebody gonna have a value play. You just got to guess which one.
You got to find which one, right? So you just touched on the guys that are in the Discord. Can you talk more about not only like who they are, but mainly just how you met them and how this kind of became like a collaborative Discord?
So the like, my very first guy I got was this guy named JFar. I had met him through Madden, and he had joined the Discord, and he was giving out plays, and he used to do DFS with us sometimes. So like, in my opinion, if you have a DFS background, if you do research and stuff, and if you know the sport, you're gonna win more than you lose. So I remember him up like, "Yo, do you want a channel?" He was like, "Yeah, fuck it." So then the same thing with Jaybird. Jaybird had never done like props ever, but he did DFS. So he was like, "Yo, let me get a channel." I'm like, "All right, fuck it." Gave him a channel, and then that was like the first 3 channels we had. And then the guy I have that does MMA, he messaged me like, "Yo, I'm good at MMA. Give me a channel." And like, I didn't even know if these guys would be good or bad. Honestly, I was like, "All right, fuck it. You want a channel? Here you go." So all those guys I met through Madden. And then once the Discord started getting like really, really big, I had people asking me like, "Oh, can we get tennis plays? Can we get NHL plays?" And I'm like, "Bro, I don't watch these sports. I don't know what the fuck to do." So I hit up one of my boys who's like super profitable in DFS. And I'm like, yo, do you want to try to do NHL? And he's like, yo, I don't know, because like I've never done props. So he didn't know what props to look for. Like he was telling me like, yo, I think this guy will like have 5 shots on goal, and the dude will have like 8. Right. So I'm like, hold on. Like I was trying to get one of my boys. I'm like, yo, you want to do like plays? Like I'm telling you, there's like a crazy audience in this shit. Plus, like I feel like gambling right now is at like the beginning, because like
100%.
California is not legal.
No, there's a shitload of states.
Texas is not legal. Florida is not legal. And imagine when gambling gets those states legal, because like eventually they're gonna become legal.
Right.
So I was telling my boy like, yo, you should try to get into this. I tried convincing him, and he was like, nah, bro, it's just too hard. So I started thinking like, damn, I gotta start getting other people, because like now we got so many people, but people don't only want NBA props. So Trent, actually, book it with Trent.
Let's go.
So yeah, he posted a tweet like, oh, who's the most underrated capper? He had like maybe like 100 replies. When I'm telling you, I did like I feel like a fucking scout. I went through every single Twitter of somebody who got mentioned in that Discord, in that tweet, and
and you were recruiting.
That's how I found. Yeah, that's how I found my guy named Top Cheddar who does NHL.
No
I found my guy ROI guy who does the boost and recaps. I found my guy JP who does baseball, and then Larry. I already had like followed him on Twitter, and I knew he was for sure profitable. And I honestly didn't want to have too many NBA people, because I already had 3, but I'm like, fuck it, like he'll probably be down, and why not add somebody who's super good to the Discord? So I like messaged him like, yo, you want to join the Discord? So like a lot of the guys I honestly like got from that Trent thing. Plus I also did like I don't know, I'm like kind of weird. I want to pick like nice people, like so I was like looking through their tweets to see how do they reply to people. Like, is this dude gonna be a scumbag? Is he gonna be a nice person?
Love it.
And then like at the end of the day, it's like, are they gonna be profitable? And yeah, I really feel like a scout. Like I was going through these dudes' Twitters, like I was fucking trying to I don't even like if I was trying to get them to like come to the NBA.
Right.
And now I have like I think and then the tennis guy I have, he honestly was giving plays in my tennis Discord, and like a lot of my like the people are messaging me like, yo, this dude's really good. So I'm like, hold on, like I got somebody in the Discord that's giving out plays. Let me actually see if he's good. And I actually personally tailed like all his plays for 3 days, and he was up like 6 units. So I'm like, wait, this is probably also profitable. So I hit him up, and like the good thing is that since the Discord is big, like it's beneficiary for like the guys who joined who were smaller accounts, because it also helps them create a bigger following.
Fact.
Plus, like my big thing too is like I tell them all the time, like, yo, if you guys have any sponsorships, like any promos, like post that shit. Like that's gonna make you guys money, so post it in the Discord.
Yeah.
So
there's a bunch of people in there.
Dope dude though. Like you seem like a fucking G, bro. Like you're just putting people on. Like everyone you know, you're putting them in positions.
Everybody eats.
But like, so I'm in the Discord. You guys have a shit ton of channels, like a shit ton, like more value than most Discords out there. But it's free. Like I hit the accept invite. I'm scrolling through the things. I'm like, I paid nothing for this. I'm like, okay, that's fine with me. But you got 21,000 people. I don't know how many channels you have, but it has to be
the age-old question. You know we had to ask it.
Do you ever see yourself charging for that Discord, or are you more of like a free guy? You just want everyone to get in and get a look?
All right. So honestly, it takes too much. Like it was having a Discord when I had 2,000 people is a lot easier than when I have like how many members are there right now? There's 21,800, right? So I have a team full of mods that like are always having to ban people, being on top of shit. And then like at the end of the day too is like I have a ton of people who are super profitable at betting. And I feel like honestly, like if you're good at something, you should charge for it, right? So at first I never thought I would make a paid Discord. That's like the first thing. But I do think I'm kind of heading in that direction, because like first, if I'm not able to pay people, like all the guys I have that are super good aren't going to continue to do it for free, right? So like as sooner than later,
mods too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like JFar sooner than later will have to leave and go to another Discord that's going to pay him. And I would totally understand. Same thing with ROI guys, same thing with Top Cheddar, same thing with all the guys that I have who are super profitable. So I have been thinking that like it's getting to a point where like I almost feel like I have no option but to have to make it paid, because I want to be able to keep all the people I have. Plus, I want to be able to help them make money at the end of the day.
Right.
And this shit is a job. Like I'm doing baseball now, right? At 1 a.m, I wish I could show you guys my screen. I have a fucking
I see you looking up. I got monitors. I'm watching your eyes. I can see you looking up.
I have a sheet of every single pitcher that's going to pitch tomorrow. So I break down all the pitchers like before I go to bed at like 1, 2 in the morning. And then you got to wake up and look at all the hitters. Like this shit is like a job.
Hell
like
yeah.
even though I'm making money because I'm giving out plays, but like I do think I'm gonna go down that route. To,
and
like,
I feel like you could
pay Discord,
bro. You could do just a small fee because I feel like even something like $10 a month, bro. You say you have 21,000 people in there. Let's say like 1% of them are just absolute trolls and dickheads. So 1,000 trolls, they're all gone if they have to pay. Like there's almost like pleasantry that comes in with the paywall as well.
But also, you've built a certain amount of trust.
The way I
at
see
the same
it
time, too.
Well, the way I see it too is like if you've been in this Discord for long enough, then you would have already made more than enough money to have like 3 years worth of
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Like if I haven't really done the math, but like an updated math, but I remember doing it. I have a sheet somewhere, but like the Discord was plus 389 units since January, and every single play that has been posted in the Discord from day one has been in a nightly recap. So like you can literally go to nightly recaps from mine from like January 27th. Same thing with Jaybird, same thing with J4. And like, yeah, and like, so if you've been in the Discord and if you've tailed like any of us, you've won more money than you've lost. So I feel like that's already a way to like, if we do go pay, like people should have enough money to pay that because we've helped so many people make money. Like the other day, I had a 4 like a home run parlay. There was this one guy who bet 100 to win 92K. I was 1 home run away. So like, even if he just round robins it, he wins 5K. Plus another thing too that I think that's cool about Discord, people like to like, what people do is like, they'll take my play, they'll take a JFAR play, and then they'll add their own play.
They'll parlay. That's cool.
So like a lot of people do that too. And like, there's been people who have like, there was a dude who won 100K off all our plays in one night.
Wow.
Yeah, like the dude literally won.
How does that make you feel though? At the same time, like you're helping these guys, like, you know, guys and girls, whoever's in there, like making life-changing money. You know, like that's got to be some type of pat on the back. Like, damn, bro, I'm doing a good job. Like, I'm good at what I fucking do.
Low key, let me butt in. Is that more fulfilling than Madden was?
Yeah, 100%. Because like I feel like now I'm making so many people so much money. Like I remember the day before I lost that parlay, I had another home run parlay where I had I forgot who were the 3 guys. I had 3 guys in Marcus Semien. And like Marcus Semien was just like all the numbers said it was Marcus Semien. Like the wind was blowing to left field. Semien had just hit a home run. Last year the same thing happened where he started off slow. Like Semien hit all the pitches well. So like Semien was just like honestly, according to numbers, the play. But a lot of people didn't fuck with Semien. So there was a good amount of people who did my parlay and took out Semien. That shit was like plus 9,000. And a bunch of people hit that because they took out Semien. So even though my actual play didn't hit, that play still helped a ton of people win thousands of dollars. Right. And I was hyped for them. Like I didn't win no money that day. Like I was hyped for them because at the end of the day, like I help people make money. I don't know. I feel like that shit to me feels good. Like honestly, I feel like I have more passion into this shit too than like Madden. Cause like Madden, I did it for so long. I was just kind of like off it. Like
100%.
I don't want to do that shit no more. Now, like it's like I have fun breaking down fucking
it's
30
a game.
pitches a day
and
still fucking 180 hitters. Yeah, it's like to me it's fun. So I personally like it, and then like it's just a bonus one because you get to help people win like money.
Well,
there's so many people I know that I've like. There's this one guy named Cisco. Like he's got to be up like at least like 25K from the Discord since January.
Shout out Cisco, man. He living good right now.
I mess with this because like we don't get to talk to a lot of like baseball handicappers. Yep. So we you know, another full circle moment from this interview. We talk about like the mood swings and how you got to stay level headed and how Madden helped with that. Like baseball's a really long season, so like you got to stay locked in. Like there's got to be days where you're like, bro, like I'm just like I'm missing, but like I also have 162 games to get through. Like, is there a time where you're like, you know, maybe you might get, tired out or worn out just because there's such a long season. It's not like the NBA season where it's like, like you said, I started it I had those 4 months. Like you got a long time until you get to like playoff baseball, but like at the same, to the same token, like you're still seeing those aces. Maybe you'll pick like Garrett Cole's 7 Ks, Yankees to win plus 100 minus whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? Like, are you ever worn out from baseball or like, because this is just, fun for us because we talk to guys that do NBA and NFL. We never get to talk to a guy that's actually locked into baseball because it's so long.
So I usually like I'm making a few adjustments. So like for basketball, I would always bet like let's just say on a ladder, I bet 1 unit, 0.5. So I would bet 2 units total on like a whole ladder. On baseball, what I'm doing is 0.5, 0.25, 0.25. So instead of betting 2 units on a ladder, I'm betting 1 because there's more options in baseball. So like more times than not, I'm gonna have more plays in baseball than basketball just because there's more games. So like that's one minor adjustment I'm making. And then I honestly have like I found my DFS friend who's like one of the best at DFS. Fiasco, if you ever watch his video, you're the best. He showed me like all the important things to look at. So I have a pretty like I have a pretty good process. Like I'll just say it because I want to help people anyways. So I have like a report on Fangraphs. Honestly, the only thing that's tedious, I have to like manually import every single picture. And the things I look for are like K percentage and swing strike percentage. That's for like the strikeouts. So like today I like Barrios and Severino. Both, I mean, well, Barrios is like below league average in strikeouts, but he's coming off like the best game of his season. So I feel like he might kind of start getting back to what we saw last year. So I have like a way to like kind of condense all the fucking numbers into like what I want to do. So like the first thing I do is I look at the pitchers. I only take strikes and strikeouts and outs. I haven't started taking unders yet, but I'm going to start doing that. So I'll look at all the players with like the high K percentages, the high swing strike percentages. And then when they have good matchups, those are going to be like the games I target. And then I'm going to do the same thing like for the players who have low swing strikes, low K percentages against the teams that barely strike out. That's going to be like the ones I target to. And then for hitters, I just look at fly ball rate for home runs, barrel rate, and hard hit percentage. So like the pitchers who have high of those are going to be the hitters I target. So like today, Elvin Rodriguez is like the best dude to target. So he's like on paper should give up the most home runs, and it's baseball. So like I'm just going to trust the numbers because I know more times than not, you're going to have to trust the numbers in baseball because baseball is like 100%. A super analytical sport. So like today I took Vlad. I took Vlad to hit a home run. And then I basically just target bad pitchers and good weather. And then I'll just take the best hitter against the pitches that guy throws. So I have like a pretty good, like, I guess, formula of how to narrow it down 100%. To where it doesn't take me that long. Because like, I'm not like really breaking down. I only take like the first 5 hitters unless I'm taking like a long shot home run play, which honestly, there's like not too often in baseball. So I have a pretty good way to like make it shorter than what it should be.
Are you a team of any fan? I mean, are you a fan of any teams, by the way?
You're a Jersey guy,
so
aren't you?
Basketball, yeah, basketball. I honestly like any team LeBron's in. Like LeBron, LeBron's been my favorite player since 2003. So I love LeBron. And then in baseball, I like the Yankees, just because like honestly, when I was a kid, I grew up playing
the Yankees baseball, guy over here, man.
Yeah, no, I love the Yankees. That's honestly the only team I'm a fan of. And it's because like my dad played.
Bro, we were doing so good. We were doing so good.
Wait, are you?
That's
not
the only team you're a fan of.
He's all Philly. He's all Philly, and I'm all New York. So
yeah, so he loves that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to hear about
that's
that. That's
literally the only. Like, they could have anybody, and I'm gonna root for them. Like, that's just the only team I'm a fan of.
But you're not like,
and then I don't NFL no fan.
Okay.
NFL is gonna. All right, so I want to handicap every sport. Like that's something I want to do.
You gotta do NFL, bro.
I know I'm gonna do NFL. I just hope that it's not tough to do because like baseball to me is like fun to watch. Like I don't know if I'm gonna have fun watching football. So that's gonna be like
I don't know. You might be a little. The way you bet, I feel like you'd be a little different at the anytime touchdown market.
I also don't know how you can say that with the Madden that you had in your blood. I just don't. I don't know how you can say that.
So like for anytime touchdowns, actually, I've already been working on like a little formula that I'm going to use as a spreadsheet.
Oh, he's going to
kind of to like get like my favorites that I can like target it. Like I don't know. I feel like even basketball, like basketball is a big like eye test, but like I do like a lot of like analytical research for basketball, and I'm gonna give like free game. Honestly, this was another thing that like changed my whole like basketball capping career. I remember JFar was doing so fucking good. I asked JFar, I'm like, yo, how are you picking these dudes? Like I remember he picked Cat against like the Spurs. The Spurs like didn't give up threes to bigs. Like there was no like analytical reason to take that. And then he just told me like, yeah, his usage rate is like up 9% his last 3 games. So it was like he went from like 26 usage to like 35 for 3 straight games. So he said he took him because he had a usage rate bump. So what I started doing is instead of looking at a player's game log, like I would go to StatMuse and put like usage rate game log. And if you could catch a player who was like on a usage rate boost, like that shit was key because usage rate is basically how often they shoot, assist, or score. That's kind of the number that they take. So like kind of just to like describe it, like I'm gonna tell you Jaylen Brown's usage rate game log in the finals. He's got 31, 31, 33. And in those 3 games, well, actually, no, those are the last 2 games of the season playoffs. So his usage rate, the last 3 games were 33, 34, and then, which is weird, his last game was only 22, I guess, because Tatum shot more.
Yeah.
But that's like a super big thing to look at. Because like there was players, I remember taking like a few players who had like a 40% usage rate. So it's like, okay, even if they don't play that good, like at worst, they're going to hit their straight. Their usage is way too high to not at least hit the straight. So that's like one of the biggest things I look at basketball now is the usage rate.
So we're just getting a free clinic right now.
Absolutely. Because, bro, you could catch somebody if their line's off. Like, if he's been up usage in his last 3 games, but his line hasn't adjusted from 16.5, that's like, bro, I have to take that. Right. Like, I didn't even think of this shit like that way.
It's just like, look at Steph. Like, Steph, all right, so Steph against Dallas had a 28.8 and a 26.7% usage rate the last 2 games. So Reggie Bullock was giving him hell. Like, he was defending him super well. Against Boston, he's had 33.2, 36.4, 32.7. And so every game with over like 32% usage rate with like a 6% like usage rate boost is like high. Like in the NBA, that's like really, really good. And like he scored 20 and 15 against Dallas and against Boston, 34, 29, 31.
I was about to say.
So sometimes there would be bad matchup. But like if you're going to take a really good player on a bad matchup, but his usage rate is like, I remember taking I took the DeRozan one game to score 40. Right. His I'm going to tell you, hold on, his exact usage rate game log. Great. It was crazy. I think his usage rate game log, like the game before, was like 40. So, like, if I see a player with like a 40% usage rate, like, I'm taking him.
Was this when Levine went down for a little bit?
I think it was, it might have been against the Spurs, honestly.
Yeah, everybody was getting Spurs work. That's what he common theme here.
I just know like the 2 games before he had a 38 point something, and then he had a 40. So like his ridiculous average usage rate between the last 2 was like 39. So this like is his season average was like 30, 32.
So this is a big factor that you would recommend to watchers and listeners.
Like the biggest thing I look at, yeah.
That's huge. That's something that's like. Like I just said, we're getting a free clinic.
Real shit.
But Joke, that's all the time that we got for you today, man. Seriously, dude, like we really appreciate it. This was
hell of an interview.
This was a hell of an interview. This is a blast talking to you. Great to meet you. We hope that you can find some time in a couple months, maybe when we go paid or when we don't go paid, and when the NBA season comes back, we can have the pleasure of talking to you again. But seriously, this means a lot to us that you took the time to sit down and talk with us. We hope to see you real soon, and we wish you all the best. Seriously.
Likewise, and appreciate you guys for having me on. Seriously, you guys made this interview like as easy as possible.
Yeah,
so.
That's what we try to pride ourselves on. You take care. You have a great rest of your day. Please hit your bets, all right? And we'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you, dude.
Appreciate it.
Peace, brother.
Take care, dude. Good to see you.
Thursday in the offices talking one of the fucking greatest Madden players of all time.
We know this one was a little bit on the longer side, fellas, but hopefully you learned a little bit of something today. whenever you are listening to this. If you did enjoy this video, if you are listening or watching on YouTube or Apple Podcasts, hit that subscribe button down below. Drop a comment, leave a like. You guys know what to do. If you guys want to follow us on our social media platforms, you can hit us up on our Twitter at 80ED Podcast, Instagram at 80ED Pod, and our TikTok, which is the name of the show, The All Day Everyday Show. You guys have been listening and watching to The All Day Everyday Show with All Day AJ and Manny Ruffin. My name is Alex Jacobs, but you can call me All Day AJ. Hit your bets. Have a great fucking day whenever you are listening to this. God, it's so good to be doing full podcasts, and we do love our guests. Take care, guys. Love you guys.